Welcome, Jonas, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about this new band, Retromorphosis, this new upcoming album, Saltmus Mortis, and more things relating to the metal world in general. So we'll start them by asking, how are you doing today? How is this new band?
Oh, I have been working all week and it's Friday, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm fine. I'm fine.
Mhm. Great, great. So I think what the next question it will be it is a common one. So why do you decide to create a new band when you create Spawn of Possession? Because Spawn of Possession it is one of the legends of the in technical death metal since 2000s, and now you have this new album when the last line up from the band.
Yeah, many people wonder that, but I was this time I wanted to focus more on old school sounding death metal.
Mhm.
Even if it's a little bit technical here and there, it's mostly traditional death metal in my ears. So that's why I chose to start a new band. And also, it's because it's really nice to start over again
Mhm.
without having to think about the previous albums because that puts a lot of pressure on you to
Mhm.
write in a certain way, and I don't want to have any pressure when I write. I just want to write what I feel.
Mhm. Oh,
So that's pretty much why.
oh, okay, okay. So now well, you open a lot of doors with Cabinet. I remember that at that era. So now with this new Retromorphosis, I hear that you are the main composer on this new album. So how do you do? You mentioned also one thing that you try in your ears. That is death metal. It's not technical death metal, progressive death metal. There is not the concept. So and for you, what brings this new album to the people that expect in some ways? Because I read a lot of comments in YouTube and Facebook that this new False Mortis will be bring back the sound from Incurso from Spawn's Possession.
Yeah, I'm very surprised over that. I can't hear that myself. I hear it's more. I would say it has more in common with the cabinet, maybe a little
Mm.
bit, because it's when we wrote cabinets, I was into the old school death metal also. So yeah, I can't hear any incurse or vibes on Salmus Mortis.
Mm.
But people can have an opinion they want. It doesn't matter to me. But
Mm.
yeah, it's okay.
Okay, okay. And talking about now for this new album, Fans Mortis, when do you start writing songs for this now? When do you decide it's time to release a new band, a new album, and far away from your previous project?
Yeah, it was in 2019. I
Mm.
decided it's time to write a death metal album, and the thing that drove me to do that was that I got back into death metal, listening to it again,
Mm.
and I got the itch. I really started to get the itch. Oh my God, I need to write something. I got very inspired by all these new death metal bands that plays old school styled death metal. So I wrote maybe 10 songs or so, and then I asked Dennis if he would do the vocals, and he said yes, and then Alan joined, and then Casey, and then Christian. So it's almost the whole Spawn Possession lineup back. So
Mm. And okay. So now talking about now from this new album, as you can see, there's a world that prefers to hear just the music with singles, no full albums, and a lot of people think that is Oh, new generation hear the music like the A40s and 50s when the music spread at that moment with singles. Now, the albums is not like any more important for a lot of people and just prefer to hear singles. So, what do you motivate to create a new album when right now there's Retromorphosis is a new band and the people just expect singles and not a full album?
Yeah, that's that's sad because I only listen to full albums. I always had. I never listen to just one single and then jump to something else. I want to listen to a whole album, and when I write the songs, I write them in a special order. So you have to listen to the whole album to get the whole experience. You can't listen to just one song. So I don't like that single thing.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Well, as you said, a lot of people think that this new album is technical death metal, and you think always the way since the beginning that Spawn of Possession now Retromorphosis just play death metal. But according to a lot of fans, you play technical death metal. So as you are one of the composers, so are you agree with this label that many people say that is Spawn of Possession, and now this Retromorphosis it is a technical death metal band?
Spawn Possession is definitely a technical death metal band, but we called it American death metal because we listen to Monstrosity, Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, and all that. So we try to imitate that. Retromorphosis is more varied, I think. Some songs are pretty technical, and I try to, and some songs are pretty simple. So what I try to do in Retromorphosis is to have a more uh, varied, uh, what do you say, varied songs, and not just technical all the time. Like Spawn Possession, everything was super intense all the time. I want to add, some more atmospheric things, doomy parts, and simple tremolo riffs, and like old school bands. So I don't personally feel the need to write a 100% technical death metal album. It doesn't feel that important to me. It's the music that counts.
Okay, okay. Talking about a little more about the promotion of this new Retromorphosis or this new album. So, what kind of plans do you have for this one? Perhaps you will embark tours, present videos, or perhaps you're already working in a new album because Falmus Mortis it was composed since 2019.
Yeah, uh, my, I want to get back to start riding again as soon as possible.
Mhm,
And next week we're gonna have a listening party on our Bandcamp site, and we're gonna release another single next week, I think. And I have a ton of interviews to do, I guess. And touring, we have only talked a little bit about it, so maybe we'll have to wait and see how the reception is for the album. If it's really good, we might be more motivated to do it. But it's difficult, we live in different countries. We have kids and jobs, and so it has to be planned way ahead if we're gonna do that.
mhm. Okay, okay. Now talking about a more about the how was the enter to sign with Season of Miss in this.
Yeah, that was I was chatting with Ragnar from Obsidian One,
Mhm.
and I told him I was looking for a label, and he said, "Oh, I can set up a meeting for you with the boss on Seasonal Mist," and he did. So, and I sent him basically the whole album in pre-prod, and he said, "Yeah, I want to sign you." So it was it was really fast, fast decision. So yeah, they have been really great, easy to work with, and yeah, I have only good things to say about him.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, now, well, talking about one thing that is, well, talking a little about the history, because Retromorphosis is a new band with well-known musicians. So talking about first, why did you decide to end up Spawn of Possession at 2017? Because many people consider Spawn of Possession as a great influence for a new wave of technical death metals.
Yeah, the big thing was I have kids, and my son was born in 2014. So I was super busy with kids, and at that time, my wife I had back then, she was working nights and I was working days. So you can imagine when I come home from work, I had to take care of the kids. So I had no time to write anything complex like Spawner Possession. Spawner Possession takes a lot of time to write because I write so much, and then I have to pick the best things and then arrange it, and it takes a lot because I want to try everything, every option. So it takes years to do that. So I thought this isn't going to work. So it's better if we cancel the band so we don't let people sit and wait for a new album because people were waiting and they, writing, are you gonna release a new album soon and stuff. And yeah, I thought it's better to just cancel the band and so we can everybody can relax.
Okay. Okay, yep. I now I understand what are you thinking about the pressure, because if you're releasing a new album from the Spell Possession, the people needs more. More and
Yeah,
more and more.
yeah, it never ends.
Mm,
So, but I am very thankful because the fans has always been very amazing, I think. So,
mhm.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Other thing about the history of especially from the technical death metal, because you are in the second wave of the technical death metal bands with necrophages, with visceral bleeding, with you and other bands from France and Canada, because you awake this monster that now a lot of people follows with your influence. So now, what's your point of view about now 1,000 bands? Because I check in there's since 2023 sorry, since 2003 or 2004, the first album from Spawn of Possession, the second album from Necrophages, the third album from Visceral Infants, now Visceral Bleeding. You have a lot of bands sounding like you. So how do you see this amazing well, this is amazing complex that how do you feel about this situation? Because when I hear a new band, hey, 10 months sounds like span of possession.
Yeah, it's super strange, and the funny thing is, I don't listen to technical death metal myself. If I want to listen to technical death metal, I put on my old records, like Monstrosity, Cannibal Corpse, because that's technical for me. And I have heard a little bit from the new bands, and it's so extreme.
Mhm.
They are way faster when we were. So I feel my brain can't comprehend everything that's happening. It's gravity blast and we're tapping all over, and it's fretless bass doing, and the vocals are super fast all the time. I'm more into the traditional death metal sound. I get stressed by listening to these new bands, but they are very, very good at playing. They are top-notch musicians. So yeah, it's interesting and it's very flattering. If they have been inspired by Spawn of Possession, that's really cool. It feels good.
Okay. And one thing that is curious, because it's a curious for me, because the three bands that started this process to create technical sound in the beginnings of 2000s right now are split up because necrophages is not longer anymore, spinal possession is not longer anymore, visceral bleeding is not longer anymore, and that's a curious thing. So what do you think this new movement of into death metal, or the second wave of technical death metal, disappear from 2000s? Because there's no band from that era that are releasing new albums, especially the bigger ones like you and Necrophagus.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Mohammed, I think he has a career in the car industry. I don't know. He's engineer or something, I heard. So I don't. I'm not sure why, but could guess. I can speak for myself. It's very demanding to play that kind of music. You have to practice at least 5 days a week, couple of hours every day, just to keep it up. And I assume people get tired of it and maybe want to do something else in life except for practicing all days. So
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
uh,
So we are
that's
close to this. We're close to this interview, Jonas.
okay. Yes.
And one of the last two questions, and one of these last questions, it is, as you can see, when I hear this new false mortis, you said right, because for me it's the sound. It bring back the sound of cabinet, not from noctambule or not from the incurso. Bring back more death metal stuff into the music, more hard weight, or more the punch in the face of that the metal has since the 90s. But now, as you can see, and also you said it, there is now a lot of great musicians, top-notch musicians, great records, sounds perfectly, no bad records, no bad anything. But when this falmus mortis, you bring back this organic sound into the technical, or into the death metal, more organic, no standardization of the sound, well-cared sound, but it's still brutal in some ways. So now, what is your opinion about this standardization of the sound into the music industry? Because it's not like the 80s or 90s when you find some records in the 90s. I remember that because I was there when I found this monstrosity, this DSI, that the great bands. But when you have 10 records, the 10 records not sound great, just 6 records sounds great, and 4 records not sounds great. That's common, that's completely normal. But now you have 10 records, and the 10 records sounds great, amazing, great musicians, great sounds, no mistakes in that record. So what's your opinion about that?
Yeah, the way to record things has been it's much simpler today. Everything is digital, so you can have these super clean recordings. Me myself, I prefer if it sounds organic as possible and not too polished. I heard some bands are way too polished. It sounds flat, if you know what I mean. It's no dynamic in it. I really like if it sounds a little bit rough, a little bit lively, not too clean. But I still want to hear the notes being played. So yeah. So you think Retromorphosis sounded
Like the 90s, or like the first wave of
yeah,
this technical death metal movement?
yeah, we really try to make it sound like that. So thank you.
Okay. And one of the last questions for this interview, Jonas, is, I think this question always ask you when you do an interview for Retromorphosis. If someone offers you to bring back Spawn's Possession to play full tours, because I think you received a lot of proposals. That's common because right now, Spawn of Possession is like a legend into the technical death metal fans, bands, new bands, labels, and other things. So, will you consider to play live albums, the three albums from Spawn of Possession in the future, if the papers will work in the table? Who knows?
I would do it if we let's say if we play the Cabinet and album in its
Mhm,
entire, I would do that. I would say yes to that if it's good, if it's the money is okay and all that.
mhm,
Because Cabinet feels closer to the way I play now. I think Noctambule and Incurso, they are so technical, so I really have to practice really, really hard to play those songs again. But I could get back and play the Cabinet songs pretty fast, I think. And that would be pretty fun to do, actually.
mhm. Okay, okay. Okay, well, Jonas, we come to the sad moment of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one like me. Well, it was a pleasure to talk with you because I'm a fan from your work since 2003, since I hear for the first time Cabinet, and I remember that era because nobody cares about Cabinet. Now 20 like 25 22 years later, it's a great album for a lot of technical new metal death metal fans because I hear a lot of people saying Cabinet is a great album. Now there's a lot of expectation so to hear completely this new Retromorphosis because a lot of people waiting for this work. So congratulations of this new record. It's for me it's a great one. You said it well. This bring back the old sound from Cabinet more organic way for me, especially because I'm a fan from your work since the beginning. So and do you have to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously Methalarium followers?
No, check out Retromorphosis if you like death metal. And I would say thank you for being interested in Retromorphosis and what we are doing, our new album and everything.